In this playlist, we take you to incredible India, to an Ayurvedic clinic. And I guess it will not look or feel like anything you might expect. Let's go for Dr. Unni's interview, the clinic's founder, an extraordinary person. Dr. Unni,
hello.
Thank you so much for accepting this interview in your crazy busy schedule. How many patients a day do you meet?
Today we have around 90 plus.
90?
Like 95. It could be around 100 people.
And you're meeting every single one of them?
Usually I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Good. So my first question is, I've noticed that your staff and yourself are very discreet about the spiritual dimension of Ayurveda. Would you like to speak about it to my people, to me?
Well, you know, when we speak about Ayurveda, it's the definition of health in Ayurveda. It's the balance in the physical, emotional, and the spiritual level. Yeah. So we are not discreet about it. When you say about balance, it's about the balance of the whole. And of course, Ayurveda does accept the spiritual part as well. But basically, Ayurveda is for the common man. Yeah, and for the common man, he always comes to feel good, to know about his health, and most people in general would like to get into a better state of health. But doing so, they automatically go into a better foundation for a spiritual level. There is a supernatural power which is the origin of this creation. You get an awareness of it. It doesn't say any specific religion, or it is part of a culture. It's part of a culture which was born with the nature.
So nature, you have a whole ecosystem here, haven't you? Would you like to speak about the ecosystem of your clinic and the whole center?
You know, whenever we speak about health in terms of nature, first of all, we should be doing something for that. So we decided that we should be having an ecosystem in our clinic to start off with before we really start to speak about health. So what we have done is, like being abroad, I saw how the waste should be managed. So this was not a practice in our country before. So we segregate all our waste because there is always a lot of organic and other waste. We try to avoid all plastics. If you go into the rooms, everything, you don't see any plastic material. We try to make everything with the nature. You can see in our buildings itself. Yeah, and of course the switches and things, there has to be some plastic, but generally we try to avoid as much as possible. And whatever the waste is there, we try to collect them, we segregate them, and we have made contacts with people who try to like recycle things. So that we have done, and also all the organic things we have the compost, so we can use it for our big garden, and even the sewage, everything is recycled and used for the garden. So we try to, and now we are trying to see if we can also on the energy levels, if we can get more and more with the solar for the electricity. Of course, we have a limit for the area we have, so we try to do the maximum.
And also, to me, ecology is one big pillar of ecology is animals. There are lots of birds. Is it in your intention to also, I don't know, reintroduce some wild animals like monkeys and deer and cats and snakes and who knows what?
You know, when the ecosystem is there, you don't have to invite them. You know, they'll just come because they always. There were no birds here. It was just like a wasteland. and we made it like we tried to put the green, and of course then they come because they find, you saw 5 peacocks yesterday, you know. We didn't invite them, they are all wild ones. When they see there is something, they come. And as there are monkeys coming in.
There are monkeys?
Yeah,
No,
if you haven't seen them. And you see mongoose, you see what are the things in the available space, like, so whenever we go to the nature, things just come. That's part of the nature.
Nice, nice. So still talking about animals, could you tell me about the importance or the meaning of cow and cow products?
Like cow is one of those animals where all parts of the cow, like being alive, like not like killing it, you know, it can be used for medicine. Like the milk, then we make it into ghee, we have the urine, you know, then the buttermilk we get from the cow. So there are so many things we get from the cow dung, you know, the best manure. You know, this area we didn't have any plants, nothing here, because most of it is standing on rocks, and just like with some of the cow dung was the main thing. It makes the land so fertile, and so every part of cow was always like people in the old times, they could feel how important this animal was. So that's why it was called the mother.
How do you see yourself and your mission?
My mom is an Ayurvedic doctor. She's like 72, and she's running her own place with around 25 ladies, still working almost 12 hours. She has a passion in it, you know. It comes from heart. And of course she wanted someone in the family to continue. And then like I was brought up with a Western way of education, and so I was actually going a lot away, you know. The difference between East and West is, in East everything takes a little time.
Yes.
You know, in West, you know, you have everything should be fast. So along with that came the culture and the things of quick fix. Yeah, but health means, you know, when you have a surgery and things, you can have a quick fix. But in the long term, to get back to health, is work done by the system, you know, and that is where East comes in, to tell you how to go back into yourself and bring the health. So, of course, I was also in the education and the line of quick fixes, and then when my mom brought me into this, so I didn't have any idea. Of course, my idea was I was brought up with the medicines which didn't taste good. But of course, you know, when you are in your teenager, you don't know, you know, so you thought that the quick fix was good.
Yes.
But once I got into the studies and learned about it, then I knew there was much more than having a quick fix. So then I started my practice when I was 27, and I have enjoyed it. Like I have enjoyed, because my Western education helped me communicate with people.
Yes.
So even if you are brought up with a Western attitude, you can communicate, because this was what most of the traditional doctors couldn't.
Yes.
So this is what I see is my mission, and I am enjoying it.
Nice. Yes, yeah, it's quite obvious that you enjoy what you do. When I look at the rapport you have with your patients and with your staff, it's like, wow, this is really happening. There's really something here. So. You're the master, but the gentle master. You hold everything. It's really quite amazing.
Yeah, of course, every project they need someone to give the guidelines.
Yes,
you know, I had my teachers, and then of course you find your vision, and then you find a path and you like to follow it. And you can't do it by yourself. You need people, and of course give them a good life, and then try to get to that goal, you know.
And lastly, Dr. Unni, is there anything else you wish to share with my people? You wish to share with Transcendence? You wish to share with the world, or whoever is going to watch this?
Well, I have said like my goal, like, and as we said, it's the fusion of quick fix and also like what goes on in the nature. Yeah. So this is the main message. Like we can be carried away with all the new inventions, but there is also something, there has been also researches from our forefathers about what is inside us, what is around us, we have many inventions about the discoveries with astronomy, about the whole universe. But still, this has been done for last 4,000 years. So there is still a lot of experience there which has been passed on by generations. We should never forget those. Yeah, and there should be very good lessons to learn from it. So always discover new things, but never forget the old things. This is what may take civilization to a deeper level.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. I feel so small. Thank you.
Very welcome.
Thank you. I'll see you later.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Yes.
Stay tuned. We have a full series with never-seen footage of the Ayurvedic massage and medicines, patient stories, and the effect on their emotional, physical, and spiritual lives.